What's up guys, quick video here. I have a couple subwoofers on the bench and I want to show a visual comparison between them, and if you guys would like, I will do a video comparison between them, and I want to see what you guys think would be fair. Firstly, I have the Meso 6.5 that we covered on a previous video, which we will still have an in-depth review and a box build coming up for this summer. Then I also have the new Tropo 6.5 inch version, and I have a Sundown SA 6.5 inch version. So I'm going to open these up. You've already seen this one, but I'm going to open these ones as well, and we'll put them side by side and see what they look like. Got our trusty rusty kitchen knife. So let's check out this subwoofer. Since we haven't seen them before, we'll look at these. Comes with some decals, a spec page, and a thank you card, just like all the other CT stuff. Wonderful stuff to have. Here's the woofer itself. Let's check it out. Nice big beefy subwoofer. The pretty chrome always gets me. The nice gasket. Check out the surround. I know it sounds weird, but I might actually put some of these in the doors of my pickup when I do my competition build. So coming this summer, I'm going to do a SPL oriented build so I can take to shows. Let's check out the Sundown 6.5. This is the SA 6.5 subwoofer. 200 watts RMS, dual 4-ohm, just like all the other woofers that I have. The small ones are dual 4-ohms. They're so small, you're gonna want to run more than one in most applications. Okay, firstly, the packaging is a little hokey, styrofoam. It's all right. Look at that. The box is really big compared to the other boxes. I've never owned a Sundown product in my life, so I'm very curious to see how these work out. Ooh, this is a cute little guy. All right, look at that. So this is the Sundown Audio 6.5. This is the SA version. Alright, so this basket is pretty nice. It's Sundown on the little ring right there. The motor is very short. I don't know why. The tinsel leads, there's dual tinsel leads in there. Little push terminals, super nice. Overall, just a very neat, compact sort of design. So let's pull in a little closer and look at these woofers side by side. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is look at the comparison between these two woofers, because apparently the Sundown and the Tropo seem like they're a very similar build. However, even then the Sundown, as well as it's built, is still quite a bit smaller than the Tropo. The Tropo has a thick steel basket versus the aluminum basket here. So not too bad. The surround is very similar on both of them. The stitching on this one is black, the stitching on this one is white. The CT doesn't have push terminals, it has these terminals, but the basket seems like it's a little larger. Maybe to accommodate that, they have these different terminals on here. The motor structure is definitely larger on the Tropo 6.5 right here, and it's physically heavier. This one here is much lighter than the Tropo. This one has 8 mounting holes around the outside, and the Tropo only has 4 around the outside. So my application and the door speaker, I'm going to build a fiberglass enclosure. This might work out pretty well. I'll have to look at the specs on them and see which one works better in that application. And here's the Meso. We briefly looked on the Meso a little while ago in a different video. Of course, it is much larger. The motor structure is larger, the surround is larger. Everything about this little beefy woofer is indeed larger, including the cooling system on it, which the Sundown, curiously, has no cooling. Very interested. This is probably just a lower power woofer. This one's going to be 200 watts RMS. The Tropo is going to be probably a little bit more. If we actually check this out, if we pull out our phone, we look at this QR code, we can scan that right there. We go to the website and it'll have all of the updated specifications on this woofer. So here the Tropo 6.5 is 200 watts RMS. So these two woofers are rated the same. However, this one has a little bit more motor force. So I'm very curious how that turns out. And I even wonder perhaps which one has a bigger coil. I don't know that a lot of that matters right this second. But these two are probably going to be very similar in performance, even though they are a little different in size. We'll look at the Meso 8 versus the Sundown as well. So the Meso 8 is actually 400 watts RMS, quite a bit more power, quite a bit more motor structure on this guy in comparison. This guy's a lot heavier. In the mix, the Sundown is the lightest subwoofer here. So if you guys want to, I will do a comparison video. Maybe when I build my subwoofer box, we can try all these woofers and see what's different about them and which one sounds better. We have the Tropo 6.5, we have the Sundown 6.5, and of course we have the Meso 6.5 as well. So 3 cute little baby woofers and lots and lots to play with right here. So we can find out if the Sundown is closer to the Tropo or if the Meso just blows them all away. It definitely looks to be so, being that the Meso is much larger woofer and the Tropo and the Sundown are very similar in specifications. I'm curious, the price difference on these two is vastly different. The Sundown is more expensive, the Tropo is a little bit cheaper, and I'm curious, is it just as good? Is it better? It certainly appears to be better built in some ways, and it appears to be that some of their cheaper cost comes from the terminals, the basket, things that may not make a difference depending on your build. Well, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, which one you want to see more of, and be sure to join my Facebook page, All Things Car Audio. Of course, you have CT Sounds as well. We would love to see you there. If you guys need a wonderful oscilloscope, I did a video about this Lumi. It is linked below. And also check out my latest video on the CT Sounds 2300.1 AT series amplifier. That thing is a monster.